Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so we've started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to review the 2024 contract. We've got Mindy from Fiscal and Amy here. They're going to give our presentation, and then we'll take questions at the end. Okay? And we will make the recording available and on our website once we have it.
So we need Matt.
So Matt, I'll just ask you to start the PowerPoint.
No, attachment B.
Oh, attachment B. Please.
Well, yeah, wrong order. BC. There we go.
Ready? Okay, so the attachment B hasn't really changed much. We're going to ask you to complete it the same way that it was completed for 22-23. We would also like to ask that you please not alter any of the formulas that DOS has pre-populated into this tool, and also please use whole numbers, no cents, and please don't include any of your own formulas because it sometimes throws the budgets off, and then we have to send them back and ask them to be updated or fixed. So this tab hasn't changed much. It hasn't changed at all. You'd fill in the top and with your contract totals, then fill in the current year, prior year, if you foresee or expect to have any carryover. And B2 is the same. The same kind of format. Enter all titles, total annual salary, the amount you plan to charge to CSBG. Please make sure that the amounts being charged to CSBG do not exceed the total annual salary. It's important for all 4 columns also. So if you do have carryover and you do utilize some of the carryover for the current year, it still cannot exceed the total annual salary. B3.
Do you want to do the justification page?
Oh, we can. B2 justification. For any of the titles listed at the bottom, more of the admin titles, if you do plan to charge any of the dollars direct, we would just need a quick justification as to support the direct classification. And there's a key at the bottom that shows a few suggestions of types of positions.
Banana.
B3. This tab hasn't changed at all except for in the training section. If you could scroll down, please, Matt. We have added, go up a little bit. We have added a drop-down menu for trainings. And if you plan to utilize any of these trainings, please just select the appropriate training. If you plan to do something else that's not listed, we would just ask that it will need to be pre-approved before you can schedule the trainings. And this tab is basically the same. You put different, you enter different types of expenditures on separate lines, dollar amounts in separate lines, and they will all populate up to the main line for each category. I think that's about it. We've also kept the expenditure descriptions on the final tab, which will can guide you as to the type of expenditures that can go into each section, including B3, which is down at the bottom.
Do you want to see if they have any questions now? So are they at the end?
Oh, we can do it at the end.
Okay.
If anyone has any questions, we'll take those at the end. Thank you.
Do you want to ask Matt for the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I think he's getting yep, and then we'll take a look at the PowerPoint once we get that up. Thank you.
Okay, we're just going to do a review of the work plan for 2024. There are some minor changes that I'm going to point out. I want to go over some common errors that we see while reviewing these. I want to review some issues that can delay the approval of the contract, and then I have some helpful resources at the end. So the first page, C1A, is the needs assessment. There's been no changes made to this page. I just kind of broke down exact instructions that are on this page. So for number one, you're going to enter the date of your most recent assessment. And we ask, if you're in the middle of a new assessment, if you can just make that note in there so a question doesn't come back to you about it being out of date. Under number two, you're just going to describe the process used to conduct the assessment, including the involvement of the low-income persons, the community served, agency staff members, and the board of directors. C1B, demonstrated needs. Again, there's no changes that have been made to this. Filling this out, you're going to list the county or counties being served. You're going to insert the greatest needs demonstrated listed within your community needs assessment, and then identify the program, service, and the service that will address the need. C1C, strategic plan, goals, and objectives. Again, no changes have been made. Please add the time frame of the current strategic plan, not just how many years it's good for. We're looking for actual dates. Then you're going to list the goal and the corresponding objective. And please remember to check the box that indicates if this goal is supported or isn't supported by CSBG. C2A, capacity building. Again, no changes. When you're filling this out, you are going to select the type of document from the Dropbox. This is up on the top right-hand corner. This is where it's throughout the plan it's going to start, where you're going to pick work plan, amendment, or PPR. This is also where you're going to start numbering your pages. So this is going to be page 1. The next is you're going to enter your intervention. You're going to list the activity that will address the need or the strategic plan objective. You're going to fill in your benchmark. You're going to list the expected outcome of the capacity building activity. You're going to enter an NPI or service code or capacity code. Method of measurement, please remember to fill this in. We want you to briefly describe the number of participants who are expected to achieve the identified outcome. And then you're going to annually enter your annual target. C2B, agency partners. Again, no changes. I just really want to stress this one is most often missed, where we don't have a method of measurement entered. So please remember that it is required, and we do have it on there in red that it's required. And then the next step is just to complete the annual target for each partnership. C2C, the work plan and program progress report. Again, no changes. Same thing, this flows as capacity building. You're going to fill out your intervention. You're going to fill in your benchmark along with the NPI and method of measurement and your annual target. C2D, work plan, program progress report narrative. No changes have been made. You're not going to start using this form until your first quarter reporting. Same thing, you're going to provide a brief narrative each quarter for annual targets that fall below 80% and or above 120%. And then we're asking you also to describe the corrective measurement undertaken to address any challenges that you're having during the period. C3A, the summary and work plan And attachments, no changes. Please remember the first step here is to enter the work plan page you're pulling this from. And then once you pull the work plan page in, you fill in your demonstrated need. Select the primary service domain from the drop-down menu for each demonstrated need and program priority. Then please select the description of the need, family, community, or agency. And then enter the budget amounts in each column for the CSBG grant funds, direct, prior year, unexpended, and cash resources. Remember, no administrative costs should be included in this table. Continuing with the summary, this is the bottom part of the page. We're asking you to enter the data from the respective lines on attachment B pages, and then verify at the bottom that the budget check amount equals 0. This is one of the biggest errors that we come across when reviewing the contracts. If your budget check doesn't say 0, then things have been entered incorrectly, and we'd ask you to please re-review that before you submit it. C3B, planned use of CSBG funds by contractor. Line 1, you're going to enter your current year CSBG allocation. Line 2, you're going to enter if you entered a prior year unexpended funds on your B1, you're going to add that on line 2, and then just verify the self-totaling amount on line 3. Next, you're going to enter your planned budget amounts in the respective service domains. Each column should cross-check to the primary service domains listed in attachment CA. Line 5, you're going to enter the funds direct charge for administration, other than the funds that are listed on line 6 and attachment B1. Line 6, you're going to enter the CSBG grant funds approved for indirect de minimis cost rate or admin rate. This will be the same number that's listed on B1 line 6. Line 7 is any funds that you have awarded to delegate agencies. And then line 8 is just your verifying the self-totaling amount, which should equal line 1 and line 2. At the bottom, if your CSBG spending on administrative costs exceeds 15%, we just ask you to give us an explanation as to why. C3, summary of plan use of CSBG grant funds by delegate agencies. You're only going to complete this if you provide funding to delegate agencies. C4A, community partnerships. This form has been removed from the contract. So this is the biggest change to our contract this year. We are no longer asking you to list every single partner and describe what the partnership is. C4A linkages. So this form was originally C4B, community partnerships. So its new name and new tab number is C4A linkages. Here you're going to describe the relationship your agency has with local workforce and the local workforce investment board. C4B, child support services and referrals. No changes. The only change here is that this has changed from C4C to C4B. We're just asking you to describe the process your agency uses to inform custodial parents and single families that participate in CSBG funded programs, services, and activities of the availability of child support services and refer eligible parents to Child Support Office of state and local governments. C4C, Community Initiative Status Form. This has changed from C4D to C4C. This form remains optional. This community initiative corresponds to the CSBG Annual Report Module 3. And you can find additional instructions on how to complete this on the checklist you'll receive with your refunding packet. C4D, the Innovative Initiative. this change from C4E to C4D. You're going to enter a description of an innovative initiative currently being delivered or an initiative in the planning stages during the contract year. Common CSBG work plan errors that we come across: the wrong work plan template was used. So this is going to be a big year for these changes. I know it was only one change that we removed a page, but it changed the tab number. So please be mindful if you're cutting and pasting that you're using the new attachment C that we'll be sending you. Another thing we find, our annual targets don't match the benchmarks or the milestones. The CSBG direct fund amounts are miscalculated on the summary page, the C3C. Spelling errors throughout the work plan, missing our incorrect contract number or incorrect contract period. Issues that can delay the contract approval: if your vendor responsibility questionnaire is outdated, that we can't move forward until that's been updated. And just on a side note, we are not allowed to submit anything that is gonna expire within 15 days. Certification of workers' compensation and certification of disability insurance is expired, and our Department of State is not listed as the certificate holder. We'll put your contract on a stop until we receive that updated information. If your charity's registration isn't current, we can't move forward. If your Grants Gateway doc vault is not in pre-qualified status, we can't move forward. The master signature page must have an original signature, and the dates for the agency representative and the notary must be the same. Standard voucher not submitted or does not have a signature will also hold up your contract. So just some helpful resources. Like I said, we're going to post this to our website, so you will have these on hand. The NASCAP's annual report webpage. Both of these links are going to bring you to the MPIs, so it will be helpful for you when you're filling out your work plan. The Grants Gateway pre-qualification, if you need to pre-qualify. The vendor responsibility questionnaire website to access your questionnaire. Charities Bureau, and the last one is for the work plan templates that NISCA put together, if you choose to use those while building your work plan. And that's it. If anyone has any questions.
So we
Can
received
we
some
go back to
questions
the
in
budget
the
pages
chat
for
first.
training? Excuse me.
We received some questions in the chat. I just wanted to address those to make sure that everybody got to hear the answers. Thank you. Let's see. So a question from Mindy. You mentioned to expect to have rollover. Should we be including that on carryover for the refunding application? Generally, that was done at the budget amendment level.
No, if you foresee that you're going to have carryover, you can include it in this initial submission, yes. And then once we are able to review the unaudited financial statements and come to a conclusion, and you receive your closeout letter, then you'll receive another amendment package to actually true up or reduce the amount of carryover.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. All right. Someone did ask about the NPI or service codes, and thank you, Sue Curvin, for putting that link in. And we'll include the link to the NPIs and service codes when we send out the documents. So for the 2024 attachment B and attachment C, those will go out the same as last year. There'll be Excel documents that you'll fill out same as last year and send back to us via email to our program analysts and fiscal reps. The additional documents that accompany, there's the option to submit those via the database, and we will send out those instructions when we send out the the documents, including the attachment B and C, and it's gonna be spelled out in our checklist.
I think
Let's see.
Adrian had a question.
Yeah, let's see, and then Adrian, did you wanna go ahead with your question?
Yes, can you go back to the budget pages to training? You guys kind of glossed over something that appears to be a major change. Could you go back to that?
Sure, let's see. And that's on the B3. Do you want to speak to it?
Sure, we just added a drop down to select the kind of common trainings that agencies utilize.
Okay, you said common training, and then the next sentence was anything else has to be pre-approved. That's totally something new. Can you give us an example of something that would have to be pre-approved that you feel would not fit in these categories?
I would say any of the trainings that,
And how would the pre-approval process actually work?
just while we're reviewing the contract, when the program analyst comes back with any questions to the agency, that's when that will be addressed.
Okay, but what about, okay, when training, there's some training that we can anticipate, we can project, but during the year, some trainings might come up that we didn't anticipate. And so we would have to then do what? Get prior approval?
So usually what I would suggest is to reach out to your fiscal and program analysts, and then they can seek, if they need approval from a director, they will have discussions and get approval that way.
Okay, I guess, where's this coming from, that we have to have pre-approval? Were there some issues in the past, or what? This is totally new.
Correct. I would probably have that conversation with Manuel Rosa, or Jennifer Gallo.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then probably for Amy, question about when the 2024 contract documents will be sent.
Okay, so we are going to be issuing the contract documents on Monday. I'm going to apologize up front. We had planned on issuing this week. We are currently in the process of moving our offices and are a bit behind. So you will get them on Monday.
When will they be due?
They will be due 4 weeks from Monday. Let me look at a calendar.
I can get that.
The 21st.
August, yeah. So they'll be due August 21st.
Thank you.
Let's see. And can we share the PowerPoint with folks?
Yes, yeah, you're more than welcome to have it. We can, where should we post it?
We'll post it on our website under reports.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll say that we'll be able to send that and the recording link out by Monday, the 24th. Let's see. Okay. And then, Matt, can we look at the PowerPoint with the attachment C, tab C4? Because we had a question about tab C4A is going away, but this informs the formula for C2B. So how will it look now for tab C2B? It's actually, Matt, can we look at the PowerPoint and looking at the tab C2B, please?
So the formula will be removed.
Right.
Yeah, because we're not, so we put the formula on because we are coming across issues where the partnerships listed on this page were not corresponding with the number of partnerships listed on the other partnership page. So that's originally why we put the formula on. Now that we're eliminated the other partnership page, the formula is going to be gone. So this is the only place on here you're going to report the number of partnerships you have. We did this, we thought it would take some work off your plate. since we look at your partnerships every year for your reviews.
And that was from Greg Richards. And Greg said, yay, it's going away.
We agree.
Let's see. Let's see. From Mary, can the formulas on the budget sheets be linked to each sheet in the file? So I think for the attachment B, the formulas are linked within the attachment B, right? But they're not linked to the attachment C.
I would say probably not. I'm
Yeah.
not 100% on that.
I just was,
Mary-
this is Mary. I just was wondering, because it seems like a lot of it should be more automated, and I get that you have your formulas in there, but like once we type it in, like, because you work backwards on these sheets because you're going up into the summary and they don't feed. And so it kind of defeats the purpose of using a nice automated worksheet sometimes, because it's a lot of reduplication in typing. Not that we can't do it, but it just, I personally, like I always, like when I do my worksheets, every time I try to make them better. And I mean, we've been doing the same worksheets. So I just thought maybe if someone's looking at, I get that you don't want us to change those formulas, but sometimes I kind of want to do, because I want to link it to the other page to make it easier for myself. So I was just wondering if whoever's doing the formulas could think about that, but just a suggestion.
What we meant by formulas is like, we've seen like a percentage times the
Oh, they're
whole
doing their
number
own
was-
stuff within the thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, not
Yeah.
not linking, no.
Okay, so I'll do it myself.
Yeah, and that is a fantastic suggestion, because I think it would eliminate a lot of errors when you're carrying that over. And we can definitely, talk about that on our end.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And then I think, Adrian, you have your hand up. Did you have another question?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't put it down.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Question from Sue. They're in the process of doing the strategic plan. What should she put in for the dates?
So the same thing as the needs assessment, put in your currently approved dates, and then just make a note in the process of updating.
And then Kevin, I see your question, not related to refunding. You want to know about the timeline for the STAR. I don't have any more information right now, but I promise that will be communicated when we do. If there are any other questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask those questions.
I believe this question was already answered. I apologize if I missed it. And I see, I think in the chat here. So we just want to clarify, we're still doing the attachments B and C with the Excel document, emailing, back and forth with our fiscal and program analysts. So this is not currently, this won't be done in the database. That I'm correct on that, right?
Correct, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for asking, so we can clarify that, Greg. Yep, yes.
Thank you.
And for the option to utilize the database to submit the other forms, that will be included in the instructions when we send out the documents on Monday, the 24th.
I had a follow-up question from what Adrian was talking about with the training. Are there any standards about what will be approved and what will not be approved?
No preset standards, correct?
There's just,
Sorry.
the updated statement in the expenditure descriptions. I didn't bring it with me.
And we have updated the expenditure descriptions with a statement as well. So you will see that on the final tab on attachment B.
Do you have any other questions, Charlie?
No.
Thank you. Do another call for questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody. Just a question. I don't want to distract from the 24 contract, but is there any discussion or information on any discretionary dollars? Should we anticipate that as well?
Not before the end of this contract year.
Okay. All right.
Hi, this is Artist from DYCD, New York City DYCD. At the start of the presentation, I thought I heard, I think it was Mindy who said, adding rollover dollars, and I'm sorry for the confusion. But is it, my understanding is rollover dollars can be added to a budget amendment, which uses some of the same templates, attachment B and attachment C I saw. So that sentence was not just for a refunding application, which I assume this session was about. Did I get that wrong?
No, so somebody asked about, so on line 2 of the B1, we have a space for unexpended funds.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're guesstimating you're gonna have rollover before the 23 is closed out, that's what that line is for. So if you're guessing whatever you think you're gonna roll in, we're giving you the opportunity to roll it into your 24 now, instead of waiting until the end of the.
Okay, is that a new process?
No,
Is it?
no,
I don't think so. I think it's been pretty standard.
Okay,
Yep.
because we have never done, I didn't realize that was an option to do. I'm not sure if we'll utilize it, but it's good to know. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm
Are
sorry,
there any
and
other-
I'm sorry,
go ahead.
and that would still, the same policy would be in place that if you intend to, if we are guessing that we have some rollover funds, it still has to be claimed by the second claim that we submit. Is that correct?
Yes, it should be fully expended by the 45% report.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Something to keep in mind, and I apologize, I should have put this in the PowerPoint. This is the end of our 5-year cycle. So when we conclude the 2024, if you have remaining dollars, you will be asked to extend your contract into March of 25.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. You're saying that this September is the end of the contract, 5-year contract, or next year?
Next year, so 2024,
Oh, okay.
this year's contract,
Okay.
this is the end of our 5-year procurement.
Okay, thank you. So next year you would have to extend the contract when you have carryover.
Correct. You'd have the opportunity to extend it to 3/31/25 and able to, in order to be able to expend all of the funds.
Right, got you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have one clarifying question, again, not to take away from the business at hand today, but from Matthew's question. Did I hear correctly that we are not expecting discretionary before the end of this contract year? Is that correct?
Not before September 30th of 23, no.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Let's see when the new contract RFP will be released.
The new documents, these funding documents will be
Yeah.
released on Monday.
Yeah. So. Mary, does that answer your question? So for the 2024, we'll release those on Monday.
I was asking about, the new RFP when the next 5-year contracts get, when do we gear up for the next one?
Oh, so that's on my plate. I do that. We're a non-competitive grant, so it's just me putting something together to submit to procurement. So yeah, that's the easy thing for you guys. You don't have to do anything.
Okay, thank you. I'm new to this, so I apologize.
That's
Thank you
great
so
to know.
much.
Thank you for asking that question. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm checking the chat. I don't see any other questions. If something comes up, please feel free to email us at the shared mailbox. The same one that came through. Let's see. Let me see. Just got one more. This is a big text block, and I think it's It's about,
Do you want me to come over there? I can't see it from there. It's like all bad.
all right, I'll do one last call for questions. All right, so included the link in the chat, and we will email the link on for our website. We'll put the PowerPoint, we will have the recording, and that'll be next Monday, the 24th, and that'll be when the packages get sent out as well. Please reach out to us either through the general mailbox, your program analyst, or fiscal rep, and thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day.
Thank you.